Well, this time of year, most of the time, the most important videos are the 2-year-olds, right? Had a great week with the sophomores. So proud of Austral Hanover. So proud of Spitfire Overseas and Tailgate Buzz. And a little disappointed with Crantini, but that's Crantini, Manny being Manny, Cranny being Cranny. You just drive you crazy sometimes, and unfortunately, he doesn't make a habit of doing that when there's money on the line. I know that Megan had scoped him, said he was a little sick, and he was, no big deal. Just one of those things. We know what he's all about. We know what he's capable of, both good and bad, and we're going to have to bite our lips on the bad days. It's the way it is. So I want to talk about the 2-year-olds, what they're up to, where they've been, where they're going. We're going to start with AC Swan. AC Swan was a little sick last week training, trying to get her back on track for Tuesday. I'll go with her on Tuesday. We'll make the sets up. We probably will qualify them, as they'll likely head out to Jim Eaton middle of July. We'll qualify them towards the end of the month. Alibaba's ready to go. She's horsing bad right now, but she's ready to go. AC Swan is ready to go soon. They'll both be absolutely ready to go by the end of the month. But AC Swan doing things fine, looking good. I'll have a better update on her on Tuesday after I go with her. Activation is ready to go. He'll be qualifying Wednesday. Now I'm going to give you guys a little heads up. I believe there's 23 on my list that are ready to qualify. You want to count them? Seems like an Amy job. You can count them. First one on our list to qualify this week is Activation. We have him slated to go to Pennsylvania. Middle of the month at the Meadows is a little pop-up series for 2-year-olds. Good starter. We started Austral in it last year and Tailgate Buzz in it last year, and they're heading in again this year. Yeah, no problem. What's up? Oh, I see a yawn. You're usually asleep by 6 o'clock when we're traveling. You got another 6 minutes. Good job. So Activation will be activated this Wednesday. Will be activated this Wednesday in qualifying at Northfield Park. Adeline Hope, stop. Affection also will be qualifying this week. Now their first stake, the fillies' first stake, is July the 1st, so she'll be qualifying this week. And what we do with them, we'll see. We'll see how they qualify. We'll reevaluate. Some of these horses will race in that prep series, that pop-up series at the Meadows, and some won't. And we only have, and this is very important also, you only have about 10 to 13 starts at most for the 2-year-olds this year, and we don't want to waste them. Some of the better horses waste them on racing and for a small amount of money in remedial fields. Horses that we have pretty high hopes for, right? I'm bringing that up on purpose when we come to Affection. I like Activation. I think he's going to be a nice horse, but I think we're going to have a better idea how good a horse he'll be after his first, second, or third start, whereas I already know how good Affection is, and I think we just have to plan out our best course of attack for her. Alibaba, as I said, she'll be ready at the end of the month, same time as AC Swan. We'll qualify them both. End of June, first part of July, they'll be heading out to Mr. Eaton, Jim Eaton, July the 15th or thereabouts. I believe their first stake race officially is around August something, first part of August, I think. There's Ferris. Somebody said there was Ferris out there this weekend, but you're back there on the other side there. There was Ferris, but they're not going out there for those. Antilles Hanover, number 3. Antilles Hanover will be qualifying this Wednesday. He was good the other day. I think they went 2-4 last half at 59. He's ready to go and look good. Arson is obviously ready. He qualified this week. He won't be re-qualifying. Probably going to train him Wednesday off. Wednesday off the gate in around 2-8 or something. Just tighten him up a little bit before he heads down. The plan is for him, Pickpocket, and potentially, likely, Militant to head to Kentucky also. That will take place Friday or Saturday. They'll go down. But for right now, Arson is penciled in to school on Wednesday behind the gate. Blanton's Blue will be qualifying, number 4. Blanton's Blue will be qualifying this Wednesday also at Northfield Park. Really excited about this guy. I schooled him myself the other day, 2-1 last half in 58. He's ready to go and looks very good. Their first stake race is June 28th. For the New York filly. And I'm very happy with her. We'll talk about her in a minute also. So Blanton's Blue will qualify. Born to Dance will re-qualify this week. Northfield Park also has a pop-up series slated for the middle of the month, I believe, if I read correctly. So our 5th horse qualifying this week is Born to Dance. Cherahola is not qualifying. We'll school her on Wednesday. I want to get her to a point where we can train her in 2-1, 2-2, and then she can qualify. She's been in 2-6. She went back in 2-11. Kind of a little flat 2-11 the other day also. So we'll come back with a stronger schooler. I'll go with her on Wednesday. Cowboy by the Sea is injured. It appears now he is going to miss his 2023 season, and the extent of his injury is yet known. He's still at the clinic. He's been there for 3 weeks, and as I said to our partners in a video the other day, actually I don't even think I posted the video, it's just so hard to quantify an injury like Cowboy's because I don't have the diagnosis. There's a lot of still what ifs and possiblies and maybes that are swirling around this horse. He got injured. There's not much we can do about it now. It is going to likely cost him his 2023 season, and we have to move on and hope that he's all right, he'll recover, and that we'll make a horse out of him in the 2024 season. And that's the plan. I don't have a list of issues that he has and that he has to rehab, because he's just now starting to turn that corner where we can begin to rehab him over the next couple of weeks. That's the plan anyway. Did Not Know is another filly. Her knees were bothering her. What I call 3 and 3. So 3 weeks in the stall, 3 weeks in the pool in Ontario, but we're going to use the Aqua treadmill here. In this filly's case, she's owned by Schaefer Farms. We're just going to give her 3 weeks in the stall and kick her out for the summer. Same as 3rd and 6th. There's one other horse in Ohio that we're going to Chance, but I don't know the extent of his injury. His leg looked great the other day. I think that's been boiling there for a bit. I'm going to talk more about that in just a minute. So, Did Not Know is actually going to be heading to the field for the summer. Don't Talk About Bruno continues to get good. He was bad. He had a little infection and missed open house day, but he is going to train this week. There's a couple that I would love to go with in Ontario, but I can't go with them all. And this guy, Johnny's been going with him. He looks good. We'll see how he looks on Tuesday, but I heard he looks very, very good. Drebin looked great the other day. Danny sent me a message, said the horse looked very, very good the other day training. Glad to hear that. Very happy. Being very cautious with Drebin. I think you're going to see him stick around Canada, racing the Millard Farms stake race in July, and then after that we'll decide where we're going with him. He's eligible to a myriad of stake races, but it's all about prepping him properly, and that's exactly what we're planning to do with Drebin. Easy in the Turns is going to remain out in the field till middle towards end of July, and then we'll bring her back in, start prepping her for some fall racing, some fall racing, and then a little bit of fall racing into the winter, and then stop with her and try and get her ready for her 2024 season. Electric Line, that's the other one, going out to the field. He's in the stall 3 weeks and then out to the field for the summer. Just couldn't get him in a place where we could consistently keep him good. Those hind ankles were bothering them. The sesamoids were a little rough, and we crowd him. He was good again for about 3 weeks, so you'd make a break training on Jason, a mile in 2.8 or 2.10, and I decided, that's enough. What are we going to do? Try and coax him down to 2 minutes? He's going to have to pace 56 to be a useful stake horse in any capacity, and he'd have to get around a fair to be a useful fair horse, neither of which were obvious to us that it would happen. So we just decided we're going to kick him in for the summer. Flashfly, we are going to qualify Flashfly this week. I may make some shooting changes with Flashfly. I'm not positive yet. We'll see. But I think Flashfly is close to being really, really good. Very happy with the way she has come around. But again, is she going to qualify in 59 this week, as is? I don't know. She's still touching at that left ankle. How do we fix that? That's going to be this week's question for sure, especially in regards to Flashfly. What's that? Did she school the other day? Yeah, but why did she run? Was the problem? It wasn't the gate. I think she ran. No, they start July the 1st. I'll probably try and qualify her. I guess we'll see how she warms up. If I don't like how she warms up, I might tinker with her a little bit more. But as of right now, I think she's probably gonna qualify this week. Oh, you weren't keeping track, but those were qualifiers for Ontario. George of the Jungle, as I said moments ago in a video, he's going to be out for 3 weeks, and then out for 3 weeks in the pool for 3 weeks and back going. Just trying to tighten his knees up, cool them down, and keep going with them in a proactive way. And I think if we just inject him and push on, he's going to injure himself. So I think just give him 3, 4, 5 weeks, just easy work, but work. Stall rest for 3 weeks, and then 3 weeks of pool work. See if we can just get those knees to cool down, tighten up, harden up, and then we can push back forward with him. He'll tell us if he can. I mean, the horse was great on open house day. I know he can do the work. I just think if we continue to ask a lot of him, we may not like what we find come summertime. So I think just trying to be a little proactive with George of the Jungle. Goldbug Hanover, still no conclusiveness when it comes to this filly's throat, how she's going to be. I talked to Dr. Cote briefly the other day about it. I said, listen, at the end of the day, I need her to be at her very best. So if you're telling me that there's an issue with her throat that may stop her from being the best horse she can be, then fine. No big deal. As I said to all our clients, she's still worth way more than what we paid for her at the yearling sale just as a broodmare alone. So I just need to know the right path, and I'm not rushing you. You tell me when you're comfortable in saying, this is what I believe is going to happen, and this is what it's going to look like. When I get that note from Dr. Cote on either side of the fence, I'll be sure to let you know. Great bet. I thought looked great the other day training and has looked great. I guess he's got to be ready to... Did he school yet? No, he didn't school yet. He'll school this week, that horse.
Ontario horses.
5 of them schooled, right?
Yeah, they were all TA.
Oh, that's right, too. None of the Ontario horses. You're right. So Great Bet will school this week. Green Tea is now off to Kentucky. He left or is leaving to go to Kentucky to Bob Stewart. I talked to Bob Stewart himself the other day. He's going to the farm for a little while, and then he wants to train him out of Kentucky, which is perfectly fine with me. Good luck to Dr. Rucker and Green Tea and Mr. Stewart. Gypsy Hill looked fantastic coming off the gate the other day. He is going to qualify this week. Man, that is one good-looking trotter. And Jason loves this horse, and he should. You know, he's gonna help put us on the map in 2023, I believe. He's going to be our next generation horse. Him on the Colt side, Sedona Hill on the Philly side, Venice Blue Chip on the pacing Philly side, and Born to Dance I had somebody message me the other day and say, I just don't know if Born to Dance is good enough. Okay. I'll be sure to let you know. All right? He either is or he is not. But none of the horses that everybody believes is going to the next generation right now is truly good enough to go to the next generation right now. It's going to take the next month's work. Well, 3 weeks work to get there. I've already come a half and 57th apiece with Born to Dance. His qualifier the other day was very, very good. Keep in mind, finished second to a horse that is our best pacer right now. Right now he is. And has been very good here in Ohio for a while, and that is Arson. So, Born to Dance. I know, Randy, a lot of people are asking, do you think he's good enough? Let him tell us if he's good enough, right? That's who will tell us. So where are we at? Gypsy Hill, Hallie in the Clouds. I like what I've seen from Hallie in the Clouds. I know I don't want to see more just yet. I was happy with the way she trained. I didn't ask Danny how she was on Saturday, though. Did you? No. I'll call Danny after a bit. Did Johnny go with her? Johnny went with her. Why don't you text him and ask him how Hallie was? I didn't mind her the other day. Well, I guess the good news is if she was bad, he would have told us. True. So she must have just been okay. I thought she was good. Still a little tender in her knees, but you're going to see that. When you give them the time off in the pool and the stall, then bring them back. It's not like they just come out like wrestlers and they're awesome. It takes time, right? It takes a little bit of time. I was happy with her mile in 28 or 30 the other day. And then, obviously, we're going to check in with Johnny and see how she was. But no news is good news, definitely, in this regard. I'm Fancy Like, I thought was a great qualifier to this filly. 59, 27, and 3 on the end of it. She's really starting to look good and do her work rather well. A little overshadowed, obviously, by Venice Blue Chip in the burn. But she's going to overshadow a lot of horses, I think, come this summer. Insider trading, big last half and big last quarter from her the other day with Jody. Really proud of this filly and how far she's come. And you have done a good job with her also. I know you've loved her since day one. She was your pick at the sale. Mm-hmm. And then she was your pick at the sale. Yeah. And then just came home and just been a lovely, lovely filly since day one.
So nice to be around.
You catch her on a cloudy Monday, she might bite your face right off. But she'll cuddle with you sometimes, but not all the time. You got to watch insider trading. International Spy has been great. You know, we don't talk as much about him because we talk about Gypsy Hill. Gypsy Hill. Make no mistake, the birth between Gypsy Hill and International
Spies.
Irresistible Son. Sorry. Oh, so I guess I jumped over International Spy, did I? Insider Trading, International Spy. He's out in the field. We're going to bring him back in August. There. Irresistible Son. The birth between him and Gypsy Hill is very small. I think he's going to be a very good colt. I think at this point, I'm optimistic in saying I'm not super comfortable because I was really wrong with the fillies last year, but I believe we have maybe as much as 4 horses that are almost or good enough to be sire stake horses, and that is Gypsy Hill, Irresistible Son, Sweeney, and Prince Charmer. Huge last 3 weeks for Prince Charmer. He's looked amazing. Okay, Irresistible Son looks great. He'll be qualifying this week also. You've completely lost track, haven't you? No idea.
Well, I got
I got 23,
I'm
but I'll
sure
get the...
somebody's counting.
Yeah, somebody somewhere's counting. You're right. J-Port Beach Boy will school this week. Happy with the way he has come on also lately. Lone Lovers Play. I don't want to talk about the injuries that much because there's still the last home stretch of getting healthy, being stabilized. She did cut her leg. There's no long-term damage done to Lovers Play as is. I did push that's Cowboy by the Sea. It's still up in the air. There was some damage done to his ligaments and his hind leg. Are those things he can heal up 100% from? I don't know. We'll find out. I mean, the one message from every vet you ever talk to about horses is the standard bred breed is tough. Very, very tough. You're never out when you have a standard bred, that's for sure. And Cowboy by the Sea's injury was quite a bit more significant than Lovers Play. And as of right now, Lovers Play, no damage. It should be categorized as potential long-term damage with this filly. So she should make it back. Will she make it back for the fall? Probably. I don't see her racing in the summer. And, you know, if she's going to come back just to be present, then we're just going to kick her out in the field. But the main statement of all this that I can portray to you, that was given to me from Dr. Brown and Dr. Latessa, is no long-term damage done with Lovers Play for sure, as of now. Where are we at? Lovers Play. I jumped right over 2 significant horses, and they are I guess it did. I jumped over Lonely Lakewood and Levac in Action. Levac in Action was good. She had a little swelling in her hock. There was nothing found there. I think she may, I don't know what she did. I'm terrified to say, she got cast. You know, before it was, she get cast, she'll be fine. You know, since Lovers Play and Cowboy, it's a little more dire, but Levac in Action seems fine. Just some swelling in the middle part of her leg. She'll be fine in the next couple of days. Lonely Lakewood is best mile. I wish I saw these horses. They were behind me. I had ready for landing, who was up closer to the leaders. Lonely Lakewood came charging late. Jonathan Drury went with him and said the horse was awesome the other day. So very encouraging news from Lonely Lakewood for sure. Mick Paisley was the winner on the open house day at 2-6. I thought she looked good. She'll be going behind the gate to school this week for sure. Mel Gibbs Swan will likely school also. His first stake is July the 15th, so there's no huge rush. Him lumped in with the Ontario horses. They'll start schooling this week. Memory and Imagination was awesome off the gate. Schooled him off the gate. 2-3 last half in 58. That's Brace's little nephew.
Yeah. He's got more manners already.
Well, we gelded him.
Exactly.
Months ago. So Memory and Imagination was awesome the other day. Both him and Royal Emeralds put on quite a show in the schooler, and this colt looked very, very good also. Can't wait to race another PA bred colt. Militant, great qualifier from him. 2-1 last half, 58 last quarter, and 29 the other day. I think he's heading to Kentucky after this week. Mounds for All will be ready same time as Mel Gibbs Swan. I'll probably go with Mounds for All this week. There is one horse that I do want to kind of get a handle on. We brought him over to Ontario just to put him on a little bigger track and let him stretch out a bit. I want to go with him this week and see how he feels coming off a little bit of a sickness. No Chance in Hill. I'll be honest with everybody. He got injured, right? That suspensory left hind, just a hair. Very, very tiny tear. I now think after looking at that tear, his leg is cleaned right out. You would never know there was anything wrong with his leg right now. Never know if you didn't put an ultrasound on it. I believe this tear in one form or another was brewing in there for quite a while. And I think when Dr. Latessa puts the ultrasound on it, it'll be very telling this week. what you may be able to find is that when we get this last blister off him and cool that lag out, we may be able to go right into cryoing, and he may go right back to walking and jogging slow miles on this lag. I'm confident in saying, and you can never tell for sure, right? But after seeing all the horses we had with suspensories over the years, right? And it's an athletic injury. It happens. It's very detrimental to the horse's career. After seeing all the ones we've seen, this is by far the best one of the bunch. And I do believe he'll make a recovery from this. When he'll race, what he'll do, I'm not sure yet. But the lag that I saw the other day looked very, very good. We're at the M's. No chance in hell's end. Oh, Snap You. She's in that 3 weeks in the stall, 3 weeks in the pool, or in this case, she's already been in for a week and a half. The Aqua treadmill, we're going to try that out, see how she is with that. Her knees were a little open, a little sore after her last training trip, and that was a good training trip. 2.6 last half of a minute, last quarter 29 seconds. She beat one of the pacing fillies and looked very, very good doing it, and then was a little sore afterwards in her knees. So the vet looked and said, yeah, I don't see any lines, but at some point you're going to have a problem in there. So all we did was 3 weeks in the stall. I think we may inject them with some maybe Noltrex or something, or that spring, and then come back and put her in the Aqua treadmill for 3 weeks. See how that works out. And that's Oh Snap You. Paycheck Princess was awesome the other day. 2.3 last half, 58. She looked very, very good doing it. Pickpocket, probably one of the most impressive qualifiers from a horse. First part of June you're going to see in quite a while. I know easily one of the most impressive ones I've ever seen. The horse just looked amazing. 58 3.5 mile track, coming 27-4. That's not an easy thing to do. Very, very difficult thing to do, and he made it look quite easy. So I can't wait to see what 2023 brings for us and Pickpocket. Prince Charmer has been really, really coming on late and has looked very, very, very good of late also. Really, really excited about this guy. Happy with what he has been up to lately. Pull the Shoes. 2-1 last half and 58 the other day, schooling. I thought she was as good as you could ask her to be. Just very, very strong and powerful filly, but understands. And the thing I love about her is what she doesn't understand, she waits to be taught. She'll get out of gear. Before she'd get out of gear and make a break in the wintertime when she was training down now, she'll put a step in and get out of gear and just allow you to kind of steady her, and then she'll bolt forward. That's a hard thing to teach a 2-year-old trotter. It's not an easy thing to do with just repetition. You have to start with a smart horse with a great work ethic to begin with, and that's exactly what she is. She is a straight-up worker and just a beautiful filly, followed up with another one of those other ones who punch the clock. Her desire to succeed and, in her case, live, was on full display at Christmas time and beyond. Filly has just been tremendous, and we're going to take her time. She's pretty well there now. She's got everything, all the check marks across the board: speed, talent, attitude, work ethic, everything is present. Now it's just put the work in and let her become what we hope she's going to be, and she's well on her way to doing that. Punch the Clock's just a beautiful filly. Purple People Eater has been coming on good. Looked great finishing up her mile the other day. Very happy with this filly.
Is that on that one?
What's that?
You want to go on that cup with it? Is that on Jesse?
I don't know if I like your attitude right now. I don't know if I like your attitude right now, Amy. If I'm completely honest right now. So Purple People Eater was really good. Probably one of the biggest shocks of the entire week was how behaved Ready for Landing was in his schooler and at the gate. He was really, 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 really good. Very proud of this horse. Still, I can hear the screws rattling around in his head sometimes. He is a bit of a goofball, but I'll tell you one thing, he looked good the other day. Looked very, very good. No, we're not qualifying yet. I toyed with the idea. He's just going to come back for another schooler this week. Very proud of this horse. This is a horse that really struggled from 225 to 212. And that's a tough time to struggle because you're left changing things and getting frustrated and going to the vet. And then to see him work his way through the things he couldn't quite figure out. He's not an overly intelligent horse. So this is completely on trust. He was trusting that I was trying to help him out and do the right thing. Sometimes with horses, it's a really weird relationship, and Ready for Landing is just an odd animal. A very, very likable horse, but a very odd animal. And what he did the other day floored me. I just thought it was very, very impressive. mile from him the other day. So happy with him for sure. Rito's Lady, everything went according to plan. She went in, did her work at the open house, and is now in the field eating grass and growing up. Royal Emeralds, you're going to hear a lot about this filly all summer long. We don't talk near enough about her. Truthfully speaking, she's been one of our most under-talked about horses. This is a filly that just deserves a lot of respect. She is a super talented, very powerful, very, very strong filly. You okay there? And really, really happy with her, and you guys are going to see what I'm talking about. Just truthfully, because there's such a small ownership group that own most of her, I find myself sometimes looking at this thing. This filly, the last top 10 list I did, I put her on like the 11th or 12th. She is grossly underappreciated and a very, very fast filly, and you're going to see what I'm talking about here in the next few weeks. Seasons of Love had a real sticky week with her where she was lame one day. Her feet were really bothering her, and I don't know whether it was a combination of chopping her toes off and her toe being sore, but she was excuse me. I know I did. I jinxed myself. But Seasons of Love, at the end of the week, we built her walls up with fiberglass, nailed through the fiberglass rather than the hoof wall itself. And by the time the blacksmith was done, he said she is sound. So I'll see tomorrow when I jog her how sound she is. But the reports out of Ontario when we were in Ohio were that Seasons of Love was sound as a dollar. I'll let you know tomorrow. But from right now, that's important too, because she was so powerful and strong in her open house video from Grand River Raceway. Just a lot of excitement, especially when we've had to rest some of these horses, right? Hallie in the Clouds is going to be late to the party. George of the Jungle's going to get that 3 weeks off and 3 weeks of swimming now. There were just some horses that were being held back a little bit, and to have her push through was important. So hopefully all things sound and look as good as they sound, but I'll let you know tomorrow. Sedona Hill is our top Ohio filly right now. I suspect she's probably going to go to the next generation. She will be qualifying on Thursday morning in Ohio. You want Scott Zarin to go with her? Let's ask your dad if he wants to go with her.
Yeah.
Southwind Digit, good. So really, she's going to be like an Austral Hanover type. I think a meat and potatoes type filly. She does her work well. And when I say Austral Hanover, I drop that name, and I don't mean the horse that just won at 54-1. I mean the horse that was just very ordinary, and that's being nice. He's a terrible animal last year training down. He wasn't ordinary. He was horrible Austral. And then he got to the races and he was better.
It wasn't last year.
Yes, it was.
It was 2 last year.
Yes, that's when he was horrible, when he trained down as a 2-year-old. How am I wrong about doing that? He was the worst horse we trained down at Captain. So, and he ended up being nice, and I think this filly's along the same line, just getting a little bit better. 2-4 the other day, last half of a minute. I thought she was good. She too will qualify on Thursday. Sunset Acres girl will likely school on Wednesday. She's been in 2-9. Lauren was saying of the 25 or 26 horses, or 28 or whatever the hell it is, horses eligible to the entire Michigan Sire Stakes for fillies, 5 of them are still unnamed. So they're not around anywhere. So,
Really?
yeah.
Wow.
So Sunset Acres girl has been great. She's been in a jog card, I think 2-9 last half and 1-1. She's probably sitting on a pretty good schooler on Wednesday also. Sweeney has been great. I love this colt, and I think you're going to have a lot of fun with him all throughout the summer. His schooler was great the other day. Or no, his training mile was great the other day. Probably going to roll him up in behind the gate this week and qualify him also. 3rd and 6 is going to have another week in the stall, and then 2 months probably out in the field. We're going to let him grow up and fill out. I just said to Jason, it's pretty hard to get upset with 3rd and 6. He's well bred. You pay good money for him, but he doesn't look like a big strapping 2-year-old. He looks like an immature horse. So he's telling us, his body is telling us literally, hey, not ready to go. And we're just going to give the horse some time to grow up and fill out. Time Is on My Side schooled in, what did I say, 2-2 the other day? 2-2. We're probably going to see 3 schoolers from Time Is on My Side. Very timid, looking at everything, but lots to offer, and he did scope a little bit sick the other day too. So we'll see how he feels. Probably run some fluids. Remind me, we should probably run some fluids into that horse tomorrow. and get him over this sickness. Yes? In Ontario? Well, it says it's 6:22 right now, and GPS says 9:24 we get there. So that's 3 hours and 2 minutes. You should probably have a nap, Turkey. So time is on my side with school twice more. Vaquero Blue Chip's ready to go. He'll qualify on Thursday morning also. Nice colt, looked good schooling the other day. Venice Blue Chip is going to be our next generation filly. She will be qualifying on Thursday, man. She looked incredible the other day training. Again, looked awesome. Victory Blue Chip, he'll be ready to go also. He's another one I think is going to have to round into shape as we get him qualified. Those quicker miles I think will pay dividends as we get him closer to the races. He looked good the other day also. He's always been just a step off everybody, but when you look at his body, he shouldn't be. He's got lots to offer, and he's pretty fast colt. Watch Your Mouth has been absolutely tremendous the last 3 weeks. He has looked awesome in Ontario. He will school this week. Widespread Panic. I don't know if we're going to school him. We'll see this week. Danny tried to train him without the hobbles the other day, and he made a break, shockingly. I told him, I said, he can't. Anyway, he'll train Tuesday, and we'll see how he feels. And then Winter Bells will school this week. She looked awesome at Grand River. She's looked awesome all year long. She is our leading Ontario bred, I think, heading into the season overall, I would think. One of them for sure. And really excited about what she's going to look like as she puts it all together in 2023. So with that, I'm going to let you guys go. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. We did. I said it in every video. We are coming up to Buffalo right now. We have had a tremendous weekend, and I can't wait for the rest of the summer. And I hope you guys are in the same boat. Hope you've all had a wonderful weekend. Hope you've all had a wonderful May into June. All the babies are here now, and they're all starting. So with that, you know everything there is to know about every 2-year-old in our barn, where they're at, what they're doing, when they're ready to go.